You know what all the cool kids are doing these days? Listening to podcasts. And what does Toxic Radio have? Podcasts, duh.
Just as I thought.
Go to toxicradio.net and check out our weekly schedule for the lineup of great shows. Miss any of them live? No worries.
Thank God, dude.
We're on all the top podcast platforms, or just find them at toxicradio.net or on the free app. The choice is yours. Be cool or not.
We're gonna be cool.
Toxic Radio. Get the podcasts and get infected.
Hey, buddy. Rah. Hey, man, that's a sweet heavy metal happy hour t-shirt. Where'd you pick that up?
Thanks, dude. I got it at the Toxic Radio shop.
Toxic Radio has a shop?
Yeah, dude. It's in the app or online at toxicradio.net.
That is sweet.
Yeah, and I also got a rockin' Toxic Radio hoodie and a Red Band Underground shirt. Dude, I'm gonna look so rockin' at the party tomorrow.
Well, I think you look pretty now.
Oh, wait, what?
The Toxic Radio shop is a place to get all your Toxic Radio gear. Shirts, hoodies, stickers. Find it at toxicradio.net or on the app. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic. Hey, where you going, man?
All sports talk shows are the same, right?
I am bothered by everything.
You gotta go back to football school.
The goal of this guy, it's just immeasurable.
Wrong. In a world filled with talking heads more interested in their own celebrity than actually knowing the sports world, it's hard to find the people who really care about sports first. Look no further. Wire to Wire has it all covered. These guys have the knowledge and the cred to back up their opinions. No hot takes to get attention, just straight up opinions. Know anyone else who correctly called the 2020 World Series and March Madness? How about 70% on the NFL and NCAA football last year? You don't. Bottom line, these guys know their shit. They aren't doing it for attention, they're doing it for passion. Wire to Wire, live every Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, only on Toxic Radio and wherever you find podcasts.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Birds Deep. And this is our show's version of Schedule Week. That's right, it was last week, but we're going to dive into it and let you know what we think, make our predictions. And, it's Happy James Bradberry Week. So I'm the Godfrey, as you can see, and next to me I got my man Gene over here.
Me! Woo! Gene.
So, yeah, that's me and Gene, a.k.a. the NFL genius.
Listen, I am shocked when I get a prediction wrong in the NFL. I'm not trying to be smart. I called the Rams winning the Super Bowl. I called Georgia winning the national championship. I'm calling Colorado to win the NHL championship. The Dubs to win the NBA championship.
People watch hockey still?
Colorado's going to roll the whole hockey.
That's all I need to know.
That's it.
Hockey.
I'm shocked when I get something wrong. By the way, if you're sitting at home and you want to make some money tonight, the Celtics are going to win tonight versus Miami. Put some money on it.
Did you have the Heat beating the Celtics game one?
Yes. That's the easiest of all picks.
That had to be plus money, right?
The Heat it was best even money. 1 point.
Oh, really? Okay.
1.5 was the spread.
Gotcha. So, yeah, Jimmy Buckets. Being Jimmy Buckets, I guess, but I don't think they're going to beat the Celtics. But that's another.
They'll lose in 6. You can mark that down, too.
That's another show.
Sprinkle that a little bit. Well, plus 380. We'll sprinkle.
Nice. So, Eagles' schedule came out, and James Bradberry. Those are the two biggest fish in the room. What do we want to go with first? We go Bradberry?
I go Bradberry, and then we'll break down the whole schedule. That's giving me the lion's share of the show, but I want to talk about the $10 million contract, 1 year, $10 million. James Bradberry, shoring up the secondary, having 2 lockdown corners and one of the best slot corners in the league. You're also going to get a little bit from Zach McPherson, going to play safety. Now that they have 3 starting cornerbacks, you'll get a little bit help there. The Philadelphia Eagles defense is there. If there's 2 reasons that this team can lose this year. 2. 1, is Jonathan Gannon and 2, Jalen Hurts. That's it. Yeah, your running backs are a B-. They're like, your offensive line's an A+. Your receiving core is an A.
Yeah, you give it an A? Yeah, it's an A.
The receiving core?
Yeah.
A, not an A+, A.
And
A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
I had this on my other day. Where do you rank A.J. Brown in overall receivers? Is he top 10?
15.
15?
Right around there.
Okay.
If you can guarantee 17 games of health, he's top 10. He
Fair.
always has a nagging injury. 1 year he missed 4 games because of PEDs. Another year he missed 3 games.
Did he have PED suspension?
Yeah, it's for second year, first 4 games.
Okay. So, I didn't know that. I mean, so did he really miss that many games then, if you really factor that in? I forgot.
No, I think he's missed, but he had a nagging injury all last year. He's constantly questionable. I want to 100%.
Looks like one big hamstring that runs fast.
Yeah.
I mean.
But he's strong. He's very strong.
9-8, Jamie says, for the Eagles.
You know what's funny? The Vegas prediction on them is 8.5, and all the money is went on the over. All of it. And they haven't moved it. So that tells you that Vegas thinks they're going to win 8. If you think about that for a minute, it stayed 8.5. FanDuel, some books it moved to 9, which allows for the push, but 8.5's wild, man.
They got to be down in quarterback play. That's the only reason.
That's it.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Because their schedule is a cakewalk. Now they have a couple built-in losses, and we'll talk about those.
Yeah,
but Bradberry added to that secondary, and you could argue that the Eagles have the best cornerback tandem in football now.
I think it makes them a very formidable team because the defense was definitely bad last year, and is the defense bad or is the scheme bad? Well, we're gonna find it out. That's what people say. They say
they're moving to a hybrid 3-4. You know that, right?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I can't really, but at least they got the talent now.
They do,
and
they do.
Jonathan Gannon. If they don't have a good season, he should be gone.
Yeah. Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis anchoring the middle of that line, and then you have obviously you have Brandon Graham hopefully coming back. You got Barnett, you got Josh Sweat, and then you have the kid they signed from Carolina, Temple kid,
Hassan Reddick.
So your front 7, and if you're as high on the Kobe Dean as I am, the linebackers. Zakir White, I don't mind him at all.
He should be starting, right, at the Kobe Dean.
I hope he's their opening day middle linebacker.
I don't know who's going to beat him out in camp. We're going to bring back Alex Singleton.
It's not. Singleton's actually projected to start for Denver. It would be kid's name. He actually had a really good year last year. I don't know why I'm blanking.
Brownlee
on
Chubb?
names. No. I'm talking about for the Eagles.
Edwards.
Yeah, T.J. Edwards. He's listed as their starting linebacker right now. Right now it's listed as Kazir White, T.J. Edwards, and Hassan Reddick starting at the linebacker position.
Yeah, I mean, but in a 3-4, isn't Hassan Reddick? He's gonna play that hybrid role.
Yeah,
right?
that little edge rusher, and then you add the Kobe Dean.
So I like the Bradberry signing because if they're able to hold down the receivers and the pass rushers are gonna have time to get home. And they're not going to need a lot of time, especially I think if Jordan Davis is swallowing up 2 blocks. If he could play like
you cannot single him.
No,
you
can't.
Single him, and he runs a 4.7.
Unpopular opinion, but I think maybe you see a resurgence of Fletcher Cox playing next to him.
Well, yes, and Hargrave had a great season last year playing next to Fletcher because Fletcher was seeing a lot of double teams. But you're going to see, and Fletcher's in a contract year. You're going to see fresh legs in that on that defensive line, and I don't see how they don't create havoc up the middle. And the number one spot to get a quarterback is right up the middle.
Yeah.
Right in their face.
Doesn't matter how, and that's maybe that's why they're going to go to a 3-4 because they have that luxury of a guy that's going to swallow up 2 blocks consistently, like a Jordan Davis on early downs at least.
On rundowns, they can literally line up. Line up Fletcher Cox on one defensive end. You can run Jordan Davis in the middle, and then you can run Javon Hargrave on the other defensive end.
It's pretty
in
daunting.
a 3-4.
That's crazy.
And then you essentially have Sweat and Reddick on the outside. So you have 5 basically solid linemen.
If this defense pops off the way it looks like on paper, they should have a lot of turnovers this year. A lot of turnovers.
Yeah, because the more you pressure the quarterback, the quicker he has to get rid of the ball, the better that your defense looks.
Yeah. And I don't foresee the Eagles spending on and there's nobody out there really to get for safety at this point. I mean, you might better get a veteran.
You can't spend everywhere.
Right. I do see them possibly making a trade or something with Andre Dillard later on. I mean, I don't know how they're going to keep him.
Okay, that's fair. But I'm okay with Dillard being on the roster.
I don't want him gone. I just want him gone. I just think they're not going to pay him.
You have another, it basically protects you against injuries. You have a left tackle that's sitting there that's could start for a lot of teams.
I think they're holding on to him, waiting for an injury to happen. And
it's fair.
Maybe you get that Sam Bradford haul that they got when, the Vikings needed a quarterback.
He's not a quarterback, but yes.
But you know what I mean? Like, just a desperation trade because – that's that type of position where it can undo your season if you don't have any depth on the team. There's definitely teams.
Well, look at the Bears last year, trying to trot out Jason Peters, the left tackle.
They didn't do shit for the Bears didn't do shit for their line again this year.
I felt like he was taking tickets. Here you go. You go through next. You go through next.
I don't know how he. I mean, did anybody sign him? Is he still?
No, he's done.
He hasn't officially retired. He's waiting for someone to call him up.
He's so bad.
But he's stealing money. But whatever. Maybe Jalen Reagor and him have the same agent. No.
Maybe.
He's who was defending Reagor the other day? I remember reading. Was it Howie or was it Sirianni talking about all the hard work he's putting in?
I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I don't care about him either, but
I want to see it. I don't know who was defending him the other day, but I want to see it. I'm tired of hearing about Jalen Reagor. I'm tired of him retweeting his own highlights. I'm tired of it.
He has highlights?
Well, in practice, he was retweeting his highlights.
That is ridiculous.
I'm not kidding.
A veteran needs to take him aside, but listen, dude, that's fuck.
I'm tired of him threatening fans.
Yeah.
Tired of it.
He's quite a character. Yeah, you got to prove it. You can't just be hyping yourself up. Can't be your own hype man.
Correct.
Ridiculous. Well, he's definitely a bust. He's never gonna pan out in my opinion. So, that doesn't matter.
Let's go through the depth chart real quick before we go through the schedule. I'm gonna read it out to you, and you tell me what you grade it. Okay, we'll start defense. That's what we're talking about. The defensive line. I'm gonna go with Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Derek Barnett, Josh Sweat, Jordan Davis, and Teron Jackson.
What I mean, I think our D line's one of the strongest.
So A.
I give it about. I mean, I can't give it an A.
Why?
I mean, wait, did you name Brandon? How's Brandon Graham going to be? Is he going to have some burst still? I don't.
It's fine. He's not going to need to have a ton of burst.
Right.
You have Sweat. You have Barnett. You have, and this is not counting the fact that, Hassan Reddick's going to play at defensive end on that line.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how the 3-4 hybrid's going to look.
It's an A. Let me help you out.
You think it's an A?
Yeah.
Okay.
Linebackers: Kazir White, T.J. Edwards, Nakobe Dean, Hassan Reddick, Kyron Johnson, Davion Taylor.
I mean, are we going to count Hassan Reddick on the D line and linebacker?
Well,
it's like a joker.
Take him off.
I mean, I don't know if I can give the linebackers an A.
No, B-.
Yeah, I would go B-. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
They got potential with Nakobe Dean, right? And White is not a bad linebacker at all. I think they stole him actually for the little amount of money they bought.
He was stolen. I think Nakobe Dean was stolen. I think that they have a ton of value there. But I have B-. Darius Slay, James Bradberry, Kayvon Wallace, who's projected to be a starter, by the way. 4th rounder out of Clemson a couple years ago. Anthony Harris. And at your slot, you're going to look at Avonte Maddox, and then you're going to have a little bit of help from Zach McPherson in the secondary.
I mean, I want to give him a B+. The safeties are.
I like that. I'm with that. I'm with that all the way. Offense. Quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Gardner Minshew, Reed Sinnett, and Carson Strong.
C+.
Okay. I'm a C. I'm not like against that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to. As people hear us talk, we're just being realistic on the show, and I'm not a Jalen Hurts hater. I hope he does well, and I hope he proves me wrong. I mean, I remember when, and this isn't a comp, but I remember when people doubted Russell Wilson, and he proved a lot of people wrong.
He did it right away.
Yeah, and guess what? Here's the thing. I don't know if that's going to be Jalen Hurts, but I hope he does have that season where he ascends and we're like, oh my God, this guy's throwing the rock now. I
He's
just
not
don't
an
see
F,
it.
bro. He's not an F. He's a C.
Yeah, he's middle of the pack.
He's 16 through 20.
Yeah, right around there. Yep.
Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell.
Well, I give that a C. I
Okay.
mean,
I'm okay. I'm all right with that.
a C minus.
I go B minus, but that's okay. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Zach Pascal, Jalen Reagor.
I wish you didn't say that last name, but give that. Wait, no JJ? Is that tight
It's
end?
listed as a tight end.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm excited about that one. I give them a B plus.
Okay.
I think they're solid. I think you got a young veteran presence now with A.J. Brown. And I think Zach Pascal's not going to, win you a fantasy league, but I think he's a good veteran ad, and I think he knows the system, and I think it's much better than a Greg Ward, much better than, a J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
A John Hightower.
Or John Hightower.
All right. Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll, Tyree Jackson, Grant Calcaterra, and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
I mean, I'm high on Dallas Goedert. I'll give them a B plus.
A minus.
A minus.
Offensive line. Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, Isaac Seumalo, Lane Johnson. And I'm going to say this just because I think Cam Jurgens is going to start at right guard. Cam Jurgens and Andre Dillard.
A plus.
A plus.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing about, I said this about Andre Dillard, and I know they should probably keep him lit, but Salamalo, he could be trade bait too. I mean, that's that depth of guard. I don't think they're going to do it, but they do have a couple pieces on the O-line. People
They have
might play.
tons, man. Their depth there is nice.
And that's where you want to have a lot of depth at. Lots.
I'm okay with the Philadelphia Eagles outside of quarterback and defensive coordinator.
Yeah, the thing about, and I hope he's working on A.J. Brown with this, is like you got to make quick, short, accurate passes to take advantage of an A.J. Brown in a small space where he takes, the 5-yard into or slant to the house, things of that nature. You got to make a decision quick, and it's got to be on time. And
you got to hit him in stride.
You got to hit him in stride. I think with his wingspan and his catch radius, that A.J. Brown will help make up for the inaccuracies of Jalen Hurts down the field. And
he's the perfect fit.
Yeah, and that's what I was having an argument with people about his potential, and they're like, no way he could be a top 10. I said, look, are you thinking fantasy football or real football? Because he's going to.
Real football, he's going to be great. I think fantasy football, he won't be a top 10.
No, I don't think so either. But he will stretch the field, and they're going to have to respect him because he is the type of quarterback that is like, that could play with a quarterback that's average and make it something, right? I mean, we'll see how Tannehill looks without him this year. I mean, I like Treylon Burks, but I don't think Treylon Burks is A.J. Brown.
My man Coach Dietz on the Birds Deep chat, he said he thinks Cam Jurgens starts at least 5 games.
It's quite possible. I mean, he's going to be able to play center and guard easily, right? So,
okay. So, I want to break down the entire schedule.
Okay.
If you don't mind, Mike, can you throw that schedule up for me? It is ranked one of the worst schedules in the NFL. It's a little bit of...
Meaning weak, right?
Yes. Green means they are at home. Black means they are away. They open up on 9/11 at Detroit. 3.5-point favorite. Win or loss?
That's a win.
I got news for you.
I think that's a loss.
I think they're going to win the game. But I'm telling you right now, that is not going to be a win like it was last year.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I think that the Lions have gotten better, without a doubt.
I think it's going to be a very close game, very competitive football game.
Yeah, they play for Dan Campbell and Deuce and Anthony Lynn.
Monday Night Football.
Vikings.
Minnesota Vikings at home opener. Kirk Cousins in prime time.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles, and the reason why I'm going Eagles is because I don't like what the Vikings did in the offseason. I don't think they added a lot to address their defense as much as they needed to. They kept trading back, and we'll see. I think the Eagles can play good defense against them, and that's the improvement here of the team overall is the defense. I don't think it's going to be like in the past when Kirk Cousins has played the number on the Eagles a couple times, more than once, more than twice, going back to Redskins days. But I don't think that's going to be the case anymore.
I have a loss here.
You have a loss, okay?
Yeah, I have a loss. I think that Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson with Dalvin Cook shred the Eagles' defense, especially on primetime. I think the moment's a little bit too big for the Eagles early in the season.
But if you can get to Kirk Cousins and move him off his spot, he's not gonna slice and dice you having to run with the ball.
It's okay. It's 1-1. At the Washington Commanders, the first game versus Carson Wentz. It's at the Commanders, week 3.
Yeah, man, that's a tough one for me because they added a lot of talent to their D-line still. I mean, that's pretty deep D-line over there. And getting Chase Young back. That's a close game, man. I just feel like they win, and then that's a trap game. I want to say they should win that, but I have another shocking loss coming up. I say that's a win now, early. That's a win.
I'll go loss 1-2.
1-2 to start the season, okay.
The Jacksonville Jaguars at home, the return of Dougie P.
I think it's Doug's revenge.
I think they win. The Jacksonville wins.
I
think the Eagles win this one.
Okay.
I think Trevor Lawrence is turning the ball over at rapid rate. I think Jacksonville will be a lot better. I think the game will be competitive. I have them 2-2. You have them 3-1 at this point.
Yep.
I think that Jacksonville game will be a close win, maybe a Jake Elliott walk-off, but it will be a win.
Yeah, so next we got the Cards.
They go out to the desert.
I feel like I'm a big narrative guy. I feel like this is, was Reddick drafted by the Cardinals originally?
He was.
Everybody likes coming back to the original place they started. I don't know, man. I think the Cardinals are in disarray, especially with DeAndre Hopkins suspended. If he was on that team, then I'd probably say Cardinals. I think this is the Eagles win.
All right, I'll have a loss. I'll have them at 2-3 at this point.
Okay,
You have them at 4-1.
Yep, I got some losses coming for
It's
him.
okay.
Don't worry.
At home versus the Dallas Cowboys, October 16th. It's a Sunday night football game.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I feel like this is the wake up game where they get their ass handed to them on national TV, and it's a Cowboys game at home. I don't know, man. I have my feelings on how this season will play out division wise. I guess we'll talk about that later. But I could see them losing this game.
I have a win here.
Okay.
I have them 3-3 going into the bye week. You have them 4-2.
Yeah.
You have them losing that game, right?
Yep.
I don't think you're far off. I wouldn't be shocked if they were 4-2 going into the bye week. I think the Eagles win this game, though. I think this is a Sunday night game, and I think it's a set. So I'll put it this way, right? If they win the Vikings game, they're going to lose this one. They're going to split their 2 prime times, in my opinion. But I'll have them winning here and being 3-3 into the bye week. Week 8 versus the Steelers in Philadelphia.
I think that's a win of a bye. And I'm going to tell you why. I think Najee Harris is good. I think Mitchell Trubisky isn't as horrible as people say. But I definitely don't think that offense is ready to handle the Eagles' defense if it's supposed to look like the way we think. Because they did not improve their offensive line. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers made a mistake by taking Kenny Pickett at pick 20. They could have got him later on and improved that offensive line. Instead, they decided to go quarterback, which was a mistake, in my opinion. They didn't do a lot to address their offensive line issues.
I agree with you. I have the Eagles winning this game, too. I have the Eagles beating the Steelers, have them 4-3 at this point.
Yeah, so I have them at 5-2.
Then they're playing at the Texans on Thursday Night Football. Short week, on the road, but Davis Mills and the Texans. I don't know who's starting quarterback for them at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I see the Eagles winning that game. I see it's a homecoming for Jalen Hurts. I know they had a good draft.
I agree with you. I think the Eagles beat Houston. I although they had a good draft, Nothing about Davis Mills worries me. No quarterback on that roster worries me at all. So first glance, I have the Eagles 5-3 at this point. You have them 6-2.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. The losses are coming.
It's okay. Then they get to play at home. First game at home versus Carson Wentz. That place is going to be rocking.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one?
I just feel like he gets one on us. And
yeah, it's going to be 9:25, like I told you earlier.
Yeah. I just don't see if he can do it on the road, though. I mean, Carson on the road versus the Eagles. I mean,
No, I don't know. Tell me again.
I think the Birds get to him. I really do.
So you have them 7-2. I have them winning this game also, which puts them in a 3-game winning streak coming out of bye, 6-3. Then they got to go travel to Indy on a short week again.
Loss.
I agree.
Loss.
I have them 6-4. You have them 7-3.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got to play the Packers on Sunday Night Football.
Loss.
I agree.
Yeah.
And everybody's freaking out. I have them 6-5. You're at 7-4.
Yeah, 7-4.
I got you, brother.
Yeah, yep.
I'll feed you, baby bird. Everyone's freaking out now. Then they get the Titans at home. 1:00 game. The 1 seed from the AFC last year.
Yeah, I want to say A.J. Brown narrative here, but I think that's fits more if they were playing in Tennessee. I think Vrabel's a good coach. That's a tough one, man. I think I got him on a 2-game losing streak at this point, and I have him losing that game.
So you have them losing 3 straight. That puts them at 7-5, and then we have now caught each other. I have them winning this game, puts them at 7-5. I think the Eagles win this game. I think that the Eagles' strengths play right into the Titans' weaknesses. I think the Eagles will be able to stop the run and be able to pressure Tannehill from the inside. So we both have them 7-5 going to New York the next week.
I think they beat the Giants.
In New York?
In New York, yeah.
I think they lose.
Okay.
So we're off track again. It's okay. They go to at Chicago the next week. Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears in December. Monsters of the Midway.
Yeah, I have a win there too.
I have a win there. I
Yeah.
think it'll be a very close game, and it would not shock me if they lost that game.
I wouldn't.
Now, this is what I mean when I say the schedule makers built in a loss for the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me sick. Christmas Eve, 4:25, I'm eating dinner with my family, and I got to watch us get hammered by the Cowboys.
Now I had them losing the first time.
Yeah, they're going to get hammered this game. It's the 3rd straight road game. You're traveling. It's a short week. They're playing on a Saturday night, on a holiday after 2 straight road games. It's a built-in loss, bro. It sucks, but in the NFL, playing 3 straight road games is a death wish.
There's a lot to that. I have them winning that game because I think, and this is complete theory, I think by that time the wheels have come off the bus in Dallas.
Okay. That would be – so you have them winning New York, Chicago, and Dallas, sweeping the road trip.
Yep.
Holy crap, you're nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, 10-5 right now for you.
10-5.
I'm a little bit more. I'm 8-7. Saints. They have the whole kit and caboodle. They have the whole show except the quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. And they didn't replace Armstead really. I mean, how do you replace?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
with you.
so
but they have so much. Olave, Michael Thomas. They got Tyrann Mathieu. Their defense is very good.
I think the Eagles have some extra motivation here because I think, I don't know if the Saints, I mean, I know they made a lot of moves, but, let's keep in mind that the last time Jameis Winston started a full season, he had some weapons in Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, and he threw a lot of touchdowns. He also threw 30 interceptions, and he did not make the playoffs. I think this is a win for the Eagles.
I have a loss, so I have them at 8-8 going into the Giants week 18.
Yeah, I have them losing that game either because it might be meaningless because I know.
Are you having them lose that game because you can't have them go 12-5?
No, having them lose that game.
I don't. If you have them 11-5 at this point, and they get a home game versus the Giants week 18, and it is for anything in the world, and they lose that game, you might as well just chalk them up and the season's over. They're gonna lose in the wild card round.
No,
you can't lose that game.
I think
if you have them 11-5 at this point.
What do you think?
I think you're just trying to soften up and make 11-6 sound better than 12-5.
No. Listen, if you think, do you think that the Cowboys are better than this year still?
Yes.
I don't.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't. I think they lost a lot.
I got news for you. I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles finished first, second, third, or fourth in the division. None of that would shock me.
I would be shocked at fourth.
Why?
What's
wrong with the Giants? Because Giants is who everybody has fourth.
Well, listen.
God, no, I want you to tell me
who's their quarterback right now.
Daniel Jones. Who's the Eagles quarterback?
Jalen Hurts.
Okay. Daniel Jones is better quarterback right now than Jalen Hurts.
Better passer.
Yes.
But he turns the ball over a ton.
So does Jalen Hurts.
Not as much as this guy.
Okay.
Because he doesn't pass.
Running back. Who do you go with the edge to?
You got to go Saquon.
Okay. They shortened off their offensive line. They signed the best left tackle in the whole draft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our offensive line's better, but it's not like it used to be. Their wide receiving core is not as good as ours. They have Kenny Galladay. They have Slayton. They have Kadarius Toney. And they have Shepard. That's not a terrible receiving core, though.
But you see them going 11-6, 10-7,
Who?
possibly. The Giants.
No, I have the Eagles 9-8 though, and I have the Eagles winning that last game. I have 9-8. But my point being is, I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants
I don't see them
had a better
sweeping the
team.
Giants. I don't see them sweeping the Giants. I don't see them sweeping the division.
Okay.
So that's the one where I could see them losing. Either because it ends up being a meaningless game, or two, I could see them losing that game. I just don't see them sweeping the Giants.
Jacob said players are literally abandoning ship. Giants are a dumpster fire. I don't agree with that. I think Brian Daboll is a very good head coaching candidate, and we'll find out what he does there. But Gettleman's not there anymore. They fired their GM. They got a new GM, new head coach, new culture. Because they didn't re-sign Bradberry. He doesn't fit what Daboll's trying to do.
I just feel.
I think they had a good draft too. They had the 5th and 7th pick. They got Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau.
I don't think they had a bad draft either. But my thing is, I mean, were you excited?
Commanders are going to be better this year too.
I think so. I think they'll be better.
You got Chase Young back. I mean, listen, as much as we hate on Carson Wentz, the truth of the matter is he's better than Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
They got Jahan Dotson in the first round.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagle, I mean, going dead last, I don't see it. I could see a third place finish. I mean, I could definitely see that possible.
But, like, all right, so who do you clearly think they're better than? Like, clearly, like, without a shadow of a doubt.
I think they're definitely better than the Giants right now.
Okay, and I understand that argument, but, like, do you think they're that much better than the Giants than the Cowboys were than the Eagles last year?
Say that repeat
so
that. So
are
please.
they clearly better than the Giants, like the Cowboys were clearly better than the Eagles last year? Like, what's the bigger gap? Because you just said the Eagles are better than the Cowboys this year, right?
I think they are, yeah.
So you think the Eagles win the division at 11-6?
Yeah, and the thing I have on my side, and this is always a wonky stat, is when's the last time there's been a back-to-back division winner in the NFC East? It's been forever.
Why couldn't it be Washington?
I guess it could possibly be Washington. I don't see. Listen, I got to see Carson Wentz take advantage of the situation. He is a better thrower of the ball than Jalen Hurts, but is he going to mesh well on that team? Is it going to work well offensively? Is Antonio Gibson going to hold up health-wise? The defense is their strength. Agreed. They get Chase Young back. I think they had some good draft picks. I like the kid from Penn State. You got me high on him, and
I'm glad I got you high on him.
Yeah, high. But looked at him, and I think it's a good pick for him.
Okay, so here, just to be clear.
Scary Terry.
Just to be clear. Carson Wentz, I have slightly ahead of Jalen Hurts as far as quarterback. Running backs, I think they're literally a wash. You got Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, and Brian Robinson, who's running back out of Alabama this year. That's their 3 running back committee. And Washington, I think that's a wash with Philadelphia.
I think our defense is the most complete defense in the division.
Oh, okay. Well,
and I think that's the differentiator between all the teams.
Do you think our defensive line's better than Chase Young, Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen, and Montez Sweat?
I like Sweat. I don't know if it's
Chase Young was the defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, coming off an injury, and he's young enough where he should come back strong from it. I think the Eagles are slightly below them on defensive line, but overall defense, I think they're better. I mean, what about their corners? You like our corners better or their corners?
I like our corners better, but they still have Kendall Full and William Jackson, who are 2 top 15 corners in the league.
Okay,
they are the only ones that can compete with
what
us.
What about the linebackers? I mean,
Jamin Davis, David Mayo, and Cole Holcomb.
Kelly Holcomb. I want to call him Kelly Holcomb.
Yeah, I get it.
But Holcomb's he's solid, very solid.
Not to mention Jamin Davis was their first round draft pick 2 years ago. He had a very good year for them. And David Mayo, who's not a bad player. Like, my point is, like, we talk about this like these teams we're just clearly better because we're Eagles fans, right? But when you break it down position, like wide receiving core, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think the Eagles have a better wide receiving core than Washington?
I mean,
Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel. Would you trade our 3 for their 3 right now?
Well, see, overall, they got our 3rd is not as good as their 3rd.
Correct.
Right? But I like our top 2. Terry McLaurin, I've always been a big fan of. I mean, isn't that really? He's a different receiver than A.J. Brown. Would I take Terry McLaurin over A.J. Brown? I think I might, but not on our team, not for Jalen Hurts. I think he has a better quarterback this year than he did last year.
My point is, it's a lot closer than the Eagles fans make it. Eagles have a good draft. They sign A.J. Brown. They sign James Bradberry, and all of a sudden, we're Super Bowl bound.
No, that's not where I'm going with that.
Bro, I'm listening to radio. People are 12-5, 13-4.
I wouldn't go that far. I could see
Jalen Hurts is listed as like the 10th best odds for MVP, and he has the most money.
How's that possible?
He has the most money thrown on him than any quarterback in the entire league for MVP. Did you know that?
That's crazy.
Google it.
I've heard that. I mean, I believe it, and that's definitely got to be Eagles fans. I would not take that bet. People are just looking at the plus money there and be like, okay, what's worth the long shot?
Yeah, he's like plus 3,000.
But I mean, you're throwing that money away. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Even if he had his best season ever.
Got news for you. Trey Lance has a better chance.
Trey Lance, I think, has a lot of raw skill, but I wasn't too impressed with the time he had it. I mean, I think he needs a lot more polishing.
I think the whole offseason with Kyle Shanahan.
You could be right.
We'll see.
You could be right on that. I mean, does he scheme them properly? I mean, Kyle Shanahan's good at doing that. I mean, they've gotten far with Jimmy G, and he's not really something to write home about.
So my man, Coach Dietz, Aaron Dietz, just said, did I just hear you say Terry McLaurin and A.J. Brown are a wash? Let me be clear. I think A.J. Brown is a little better than Terry McLaurin. But with that being said, I think Jahan Dotson is just as good as Devontae Smith. So I think that's a wash. And I think when you go to Curtis Samuel versus Quez Watkins, it's a layup that Curtis Samuel's better than.
It's a layup, yeah.
So, like, when I look at their receiving core, I look at it like, yeah, you could argue the Eagles' wide receiving core is better.
Terry McLaurin, I think, is more of a polished route runner than A.J. Brown. I think they're two different types of receivers. But he also has the capability to go deep, and he's done it with subpar quarterbacks.
I think Terry McLaurin has some of the best hands you'll ever see in the league, and he has unbelievable speed. I think A.J. Brown is a physical receiver that are going to catch balls behind him, and he's going to catch a lot of those jump balls. I think they have different skill sets. I think that each skill set would be – I actually think both skill sets are perfect for the quarterbacks that they have. A.J. Brown is that physical receiver that has a higher catch radius, whereas Carson Wentz is going to want to air the ball out deep, and if you have Terry McLaurin running behind the defense, he's a better skill set for Carson.
For sure. So here's the thing. And this is my knock on Carson. I just want to see if he's adjusted his game to what his physical ability is.
He hasn't, and I think what you're going to see in November when he comes back to Philadelphia is he still hasn't adjusted his game to handle pressure. That's why I know they're going to lose that game in Philadelphia, because he's going to come here and that pressure and that crowd. I chalk that one up for the fans.
Yeah, there's always a couple weird losses in a season, and there's always a couple weird wins.
Yeah, because you don't know. And
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, right?
Right.
That game versus 11-27 is an easy win versus Jordan Love, right? Like, that's how much he means.
Yeah.
You
True.
don't know what's going to happen.
My thing is, Eagles, I mean, it's fair to say they're the best offensive line, right?
I agree with you.
Okay.
I don't think that's close.
They're
I
cl-
think that their left side of their offensive line, with Mailata and Dickerson, might be your left side for the next 10 years.
The Giants have improved their offensive line, but here's the other factor about their offensive line performing well. It's not all on the offensive line. Daniel Jones has to get rid of the ball in a timely manner. He has to make efficient passes because he is a type of quarterback where they're going to have to pass him. They got to feed receivers. They have plenty of receivers to feed on that team. Saquon Barkley finally has a good offensive line. Is it as
it's not good yet.
It's not good yet, but it's projected to be good. Is it good enough for he could take an advantage, or has he started taking a downturn because he's had several injuries? I'm not saying he's a bad back.
They have their first-round draft pick, number 6 overall, a couple years ago, Andrew Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to play left tackle. Evan Neal, their first-round draft pick this year, is going to play right tackle for them. The middle of their line is where you just don't know what you're getting. Both guards and their center aren't great. They're not in the right home about. I would take Kelsey, Sayamalo, and Dickerson over their interior line, but their edges are just as good as ours.
Yeah, and see, the thing I look at the Eagles' defense is they're going to actually be able to bring pressure this year, unless Jonathan Gannon has the linebackers lining up all the way in the bleachers. But they're actually going to be able to bring pressure this year, and I think the cornerbacks are going to hold their own. They have the talent. They've already shown it. Now they added James Bradberry. You got a guy that's motivated to play. He's already played in the division. He knows these guys. I just totally see the Eagles. I can see them winning the division. I can also see them going all the way to third place. And that all depends.
You just can't see them being fourth.
I just don't see them finishing dead last because I just think they
Let
have.
me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's a better chance the Philadelphia Eagles play in the NFC Championship game or finish fourth in the division? I want to see. Well, no,
I mean,
that's a real question.
I think you have a better shot of them finishing fourth than playing an NFC Championship game.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, I would love for them to go that far.
How about winning a playoff game versus finishing fourth?
Do they have a better shot at winning a playoff game?
Winning a playoff game or finishing fourth in the division?
I think they have a shot at winning a playoff game because of how weak the NFC is right now. If you ask me if the quarterback landscape was different, because the two teams that
in order for them to win a playoff game, they have to win the division.
Right.
They're not going on the road and beating
Right.
the Rams or the Bucks.
100%.
It's not doing it.
Yeah,
If they have to win the
if
division.
they don't win,
You're not going to
right.
Lambeau. You're not going to LA.
I agree 100%.
You're not going to Tampa.
Because that's the thing, like, and what's hard is it has this offense. Is it still going to be one dimensional? Because this is the one thing that scares me. And this is where I think you're right, where they can end up finishing a third or a fourth. Is they're not going to sneak up on anybody with the run game this year. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they snuck up on people last year and they got to go.
You don't need to sneak up on anybody because when your offensive line's just that good, it doesn't matter.
But didn't we see them play a couple games? Like, I'll talk about the Giants game where they kind of took away the run and they started trying to pass, and Jalen Hurts looked awful in that game, the one in New York toward the end of the year. We did see games where the teams approached the Eagles' offense differently and kind of subdued the running game, right? And they had to pass the ball more, and we saw like a 7-point effort. You're right about your trepidation because we always bring up who are the quarterbacks that they beat last year, right?
Well, the good thing is, who are the quarterbacks they're going to have to beat this year? Watch this, ready? I actually looked at this. I'm not kidding with you. Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz, Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Mitch Trubisky, Davis Mills, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, that's 3. Ryan Tannehill, Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, Dak again, Jameis Winston, Daniel Jones. They have 4 top 10 quarterbacks they have to play this year. And that's counting Dak twice and counting Dak as a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
That's really good for the Eagles.
Yeah. So I just think the Cowboys lost a lot. Jarwin released, that isn't a big loss, but Amari Cooper, that's a big loss, I think. I really do. And Randy Gregory.
Yeah, but all right, so
2 biggest losses. And Connor Williams.
That's fair. But Randy Gregory gets cemented by them being able to play Micah Parsons on that outside.
But
He's not going to play the middle this year, bro.
Okay. I mean, isn't he? I can't say this until I see him play, but I thought he was pretty effective in the way they were using him last year. So I don't know why
They
they're
were using him both ways last year. He's
Yeah.
way more effective as a pass rusher, though.
That's fair to say. And
Way more.
He's a dynamic player, but there's a lot.
I got news for you. You might think this is nuts, and I hate saying this, but Micah Parsons could be. It's gonna sound nuts. Micah Parsons could be the greatest defensive player you ever watched play football.
Okay. I mean, it's only second year, but I mean, you could be right.
I'm saying could. Like I'm not like. So the odds to win the division right now. Let me read it out to you.
Who has the when you look at these teams as a whole, as their overall program, what franchise has the most stability
In the NFC East?
overall? Like out of the NFC East, yeah. I mean, the Giants have been on a rebuild forever.
The Eagles do.
The Eagles do.
I agree. I agree.
And that's my thing here. It's like
it's a good point.
To have
That's a good point.
To have a winning culture and get stuff done, you have to have stability in your franchise. And the teams that perpetually lose all the time are always getting new head coaches. And I just feel like Mike McCarthy is on the edge of falling off and Dan Quinn taking his fucking job. For that to happen, it's got to go bad. And I can see Dan Quinn being the new Cowboys head coach next year because they have high expectations in Dallas. Because Jerry Jones thinks everything he does is the greatest thing in the world, especially when it comes to the draft. But they made a mistake, and their fatal mistake was paying a lot of money to a running back and a quarterback.
I pulled this up just for fun. I'm gonna ask you a question, and we'll kind of like have a little fun debate here. Who has better odds to win the Super Bowl? Don't look it up. I'm gonna read it to you. You're not looking at it, right?
No, I'm looking at our comments.
Right. I'm gonna ask you a team, and you're gonna tell me if you think they have better odds to win the Super Bowl than the Eagles do.
Okay.
That fun?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let me start with the Las Vegas Raiders. Devontae Adams, Derek Carr, Darren Waller.
I say they're right up in the same area. I think the Eagles might have better odds. I'm not saying that they have a better shot, but if I'm going by guessing the odds, I think the Eagles might have better odds than them.
The Eagles have a better odds to win the Super Bowl than the Las Vegas Raiders.
What are the odds?
I can't tell you until the end.
Okay.
The Indianapolis Colts, Matt Ryan and the Colts, who have better odds to win the Super Bowl.
Than the Eagles?
Eagles or Colts?
Man, I want to go with the Colts have better odds than the Eagles.
You're 2 for 2 so far, sir. The San Francisco 49ers.
That's a funny one. That's so much shit going on there that can make that line go up and down. But
What's better odds to win the Super Bowl? The Eagles or the 49ers?
I want to go Eagles. I mean 49ers. I'm sorry. I want to go 49ers.
You're 3 for 3.
Yeah, because
Let's see how well you do on this. The Arizona Cardinals. Who's better odds to win the Super Bowl? Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, or Jalen Hurts and the Eagles?
20 times you got DeAndre Hopkins for 10 games instead of 7. No,
That's fair.
11
That's
games.
fair.
I'm going to go Eagles.
Okay, you are 4 for 4.
I'm surprised at that one, but that was.
All right, here's another one for you. Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins.
Man. It's like
Tua Tagovailoa or Jalen Hurts.
Did you see that beautiful deep ball they had?
Oh, God.
I,
He's so bad.
I'm going to go Eagles have better odds.
You are 5 for 5. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Got to be Baltimore.
6 for 6. Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns.
That's a tough one because have they decided if he's going to be suspended or not?
No.
It's still up in the air.
Nope,
Up in the air.
Up in the air.
I'm high on the Browns. They got a great offensive line. They might have the best offensive line in football or close to it. I mean, some people might disagree with me there.
Got better odds.
Yeah, I got to say they got better odds than the Eagles.
You're correct. 7 for 7. I'm going to give you 2 more, all right?
Mhm.
The Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson and the Broncos or the Philadelphia Eagles?
They got the Broncos having better odds than just because of Russell Wilson than the Eagles. They have
The
to.
Broncos do?
Yeah, have to have better
8 for 8.
There's no way. Like,
And the last one I'll give you. Last year's AFC number 1 seed. The Tennessee Titans or the Philadelphia Eagles?
man, I feel like the Titans were a number 1 seed of circumstance last year.
That's fair. That's
But,
fair.
I'm gonna go Titans.
The Eagles have better odds to win.
Wow, that's a tough one.
So you were 8-1, which is really impressive. I'm going to read them out to you. Who do you think the favorite is to win the Super Bowl this year? There is a favorite.
Got to be the Bucks, right?
Nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills.
Oh yeah, the Bills. You know, I could see that. That's fair for sure.
The Bucks are second. Who's third? It's separated by just $25. Plus 1,200 versus plus 1,225.
Got to be the Rams, right?
The Rams are fourth.
The Rams are fourth. Chiefs?
The Chiefs are third.
Okay.
This one's only separated by $50, plus 1,275. Fifth odds to win the Super Bowl.
Got to be the Broncos.
It is the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, that's a tough one. I mean, I wouldn't. How is the receivers going to work out?
Chargers or Broncos? Who has better odds to win the Super Bowl?
Man, the Chargers have had such a fucking great offseason. I would go Chargers, but
you are correct. The Chargers plus 1,800. The Broncos plus 1,950. The San Francisco 49ers plus 1,825.
Yeah, and I think that's partly because they're in the NFC.
Cowboys, Browns, Bengals, Ravens, Colts, and the Eagles.
They got the Cowboys above the Ravens?
Yes. Plus 2,200 versus plus 25.
You know, I really like the Ravens draft, and I don't see how you can have the Cowboys above the Ravens.
You got to understand, it is a betting. It's
trying to draw some people in.
100%. Not even that. There's a lot of Cowboys fans that are the most bet on team in football.
Yeah. That stability piece comes into mind with me. You know, John Harbaugh is there. He's a rock of stability. And they fucking got Kyle Hamilton in the first. I mean, they made their team better through their draft.
Not to mention they got Tyler Linderbaum, who's going to be their center for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
I think
Lamar has a bounce back year, personally.
Of course. And I think Rashad Bateman having a full offseason with Lamar Jackson means.
Well, he was hurt last year, beginning of the year, right?
Yeah. He pulled his hamstring, missed the first 6 games.
I think
still caught
he's
47 balls.
Yeah, I think he's a stud.
Missing the first 6 games and having no training camp.
He's a perfect fit for their offense as far as receiver
possession receiver that can take it to the house. Strong. I agree with you.
Yeah, and
then you're getting J.K. Dobbins back, who I think is a really good fit for them.
Yeah. Who'd they sign recently? I know they got Gus Edwards. Who else did they sign? They signed a veteran.
Running back?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's find out.
I forget who it is.
You love putting me on the spot, giving me no time to prep. That's fine though.
It's nobody of significance, but.
Well, you said it. Is it? Did they get a Cordell Patterson? No.
No.
They got Mike Davis.
Mike Davis, yeah.
He stinks.
J.K.
J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Mike Davis, Justice Hill. Do you know what the problem with that team is? Their number 2 receiver is Devin Duvernay, and their number 3 receiver is James Prochet.
Prochet. Yeah,
Prochet.
I mean
I'm saying it right. I know who he is.
Really their number 1 receiver is Mark Andrews.
Yeah, and their number 2 is Bateman.
Yeah, I mean,
but still.
Yeah, I think that's a bounce back year team, and the AFC, man, I don't know who to fucking pick to win anything in that fucking.
So you cheated and have the Eagles at 11-6. I have them 9-8.
Yeah,
I'm not giving you credit for the Giants game. That was bullshit.
Why?
Because you.
Why does it say 1? Why does it say 7-8 there? 1-7-8. Is that?
I think that means it could be on the 7th or the 8th. I think it could be flex. It's to be determined based off of. They're doing Saturday, Sunday games. It's to be determined based off playoff seeding. They're doing that for all the last games this season, so like they don't have teams like sit players or like, you know what I mean? Like they every year they do. It's for competitive balance.
Yeah, I just feel like, listen, this team is built to play defense now. Get to the quarterback, force turnovers, put Jalen Hurts in a short field. If the Eagles end up being in a position where they got to drive 95 yards to score a touchdown, it's going to be a long fucking season. I just think the way they built the team around him, you know, again, I don't think he's the guy, and he hasn't proven it yet, but I think he can still be successful and maybe better the total last year by a little bit. And if we had fucking the same schedule as last year, we had Herbert, we had Carr, we had Mahomes, I'm going to be at like 8-9, 9-8. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of teams in there where they don't even know what their identity is yet, except for the Packers, except for, the Cardinals do, but they're missing his number one target is D-Hop. That I think we all saw how Murray performed with D-Hop out. I don't think,
There's a weird stat on Cliff Kingsbury. His first 8 games versus
What is the
rest
stat?
of the season. I think he's 47-22 in his career in his first 8 games. That goes back to college and pros.
Wow.
And I think he's 25-42
Ooh,
for his next 8.
that's fucking crazy.
It's
It's a steep drop off, man.
actually, I'd rather get you to. I want to get all the listeners to stats.
Yeah, I mean,
Cliff Kingsbury. I got to keep. You can talk.
I think the Colts are a surprise team this year. I know people, Matt Ryan's not sexy, but I just think that he's going to be able to take advantage of that. They got a good O-line. They got a really good running back, and they got a good defense. Leonard is a turnover machine, and I just think that that's a team that's tough for them to beat. I don't see it happening, but we'll see. And there's always going to be some division losses in there. We're like, what the fuck was that?
It's actually worse than what I thought it was. 7 games. Games 1 through 7, Cliff Kingsbury's record from Texas Tech and Arizona Cardinals is 42-20-1.
Wow.
In the rest of the year, he's 16-43.
Wow.
That's a real. That's
bad.
so absurd to me.
There's such a different situation there. I feel like Kyler Murray has a lot of physical tools, and I think Cliff Kingsbury is definitely not a great coach. But I think it's a little bit.
Can you
of them
imagine
both.
being that bad the second half of your season every
That's
year?
horrible.
16-42. Do you realize how bad that is?
Yeah. My thing with Kyler Murray is
yuck.
A lot of defenses were getting in that passing lane and tipping the ball, and
Because he's a midget.
yeah, and I think D-Hop really helps him because he can improvise, get out, and just
I have a counterfeit green this week. Can I give it? I don't know if you do.
shoot it.
I know in the off season we don't do it as much. My counterfeit green right now is Eagles fans that are claiming that the Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl contenders and going to win 13 games because they signed James Bradberry and A.J. Brown. I think that you guys forget that Jonathan Gannon is a terrible defensive coordinator and that Jalen Hurts lacks 3 things that all quarterbacks need to have. 1, arm strength. 2, accuracy. And 3, anticipation. You have to have those 3 things as quarterback. He has
He's
none
not going
of
to
them.
Super Bowl.
He's below average in every one of those aspects. Now, what I think Jalen Hurts is very good at is I think that his work ethic is great. I think his leadership is great. And I think that if he keeps working at his craft, he could be better in 2 of the 3 things I just mentioned. You're not making up arm strength. I don't care how much you lift. It's just you might add 3 yards to your ball. It's just not going to happen. It's like a pitcher. You don't ever see a pitcher go from being I throw the ball 90 miles an hour to throwing 103. That's not how it works.
I have a counterfeit green.
All right, let's hear it.
My counterfeit green
Is you. I'm
is
kidding.
Howie Roseman for saying I got you, bro.
When did he say this? I didn't hear it.
He was on I think he was interviewing with Angelo, and they were pressing him about, positional needs. He's like, I got you, bro. He was trying to have an Aaron Rodgers moment. And now everybody's talking about I got you, bro, because he got James Bradberry. And while he has done well at doing that, he has to understand the reason why he's getting pressed is because he didn't get us when he got Jalen Reagor over Justin
Are we
Jefferson.
going to forget the fact that he has missed so many first, second round picks because he has one good offseason?
Yeah, and he's had a great offseason. I'm not taking anything away from him. But I mean,
I'm the biggest Howie hater of all time, and I've said he's done great this year.
Yeah, and he's.
Well, with that said, we can't forget Jay Jaw, Andre Dillard, Jalen Reagor, Sidney Jones.
Is Dillard really considered a bust or injury to take him?
Yes. No, it's a bust. He's a first-round draft pick that was supposed to start left tackle. You traded up for him.
Yeah.
It's a bust.
Yeah, him saying I got you, bro, after what you just described, and yeah, we are coming back from the ashes. They did have a quick turnaround. He's good at working the cap. He's good at getting value players. He's good at making trades, but his weakness has always been the draft. And this year we felt like he finally had a good draft. I will argue, though, that he made less picks this year than he did before, so there's less room for error. But being that as it may, he's had an excellent offseason, and he did get a blockbuster trade done that I thought was really good value. But at the same time, I got you, bro. You're not allowed to say that yet. You're just not.
Yeah, you're not.
I mean,
agree.
I know you won a Super Bowl, but the Eagles fans and him himself have to – I hope they have the realization that was a one-off. That wasn't setting up a dynasty for years to come. Do people look back on that season 30 years from now and be like, did the Eagles just win the Super Bowl after losing a guy that was going to be an MVP and a guy who played like dog shit until the NFC Championship game, and then they outdueled Brady? That's never going to happen again.
I can't understand. It actually baffles my mind how people still argue that Super Bowl wasn't fluky. I'll take it, bro. The ring still counts.
I'll take it fluky.
LeBron still has his 4th ring winning in the bubble.
Yeah.
Like people, the Raptors did win the NBA Finals. Even though Durant, Klay Thompson, and Curry were all hurt.
Yeah.
It still happened.
Yeah, and on top of that,
like
it was fluky. There's no better way
fluky.
to and listen, as an Eagles fan, I will take it. Because it was awesome.
Of course.
And you know what? And they did it in style. I mean, we got the Philly special from it and all that stuff. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was tingling the whole fucking
It almost
game.
felt like angels in the outfield.
It felt like it was
Like-
surreal. It didn't even feel like it was real.
Didn't it feel like that, though? Like there was an
Yeah.
angel helping Nick Foles?
And
He's a religious guy, too, you know?
as a Philly fan, you were waiting for that knife. Brady has the ball, and then
Yeah,
and
Brandon
BG
Graham.
strips it, and you're like, holy shit.
You know what's funny? No one ever talks about the fact that Derek Barnett recovered that football
Mhm.
because the ball literally bounced directly
Right.
into his breadbasket.
You know what I think the least talked about play in that game is? When Malcolm Jenkins eliminated Brandon Cooks.
Oh, Jesus.
I think
You
that
know what else
changed
gets-
the face of that game.
You know what else gets forgotten, and then we got to wrap up, is do you remember that Bill Belichick thought he was outsmarting the whole world by sitting Malcolm Butler because he missed a team meeting on Saturday before Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if that would have even affected the Eagles that much because Malcolm Butler, I think, got a lot more. He was a good quarterback, but I think people wanted to make him into fucking Deion Sanders because of the interception.
yeah.
And
You're right.
And once he got and you saw that play out once he got to Tennessee, but
He played terrible there.
he didn't play terrible. He just isn't he wasn't a top 5 cornerback. you know?
No, I agree.
But yeah, that was perfect. And listen, so Howie has never really built a dynasty per se because when though Andy Reid didn't win the whole enchilada, he had a long sustained period of success.
He did.
And I haven't seen that under Howie Roseman's hat.
You
I've seen
haven't?
spurts of success here and there. The great thing about the Eagles' stability as an organization is that they're able to recover when they fuck up. And then, so that's why we're not the Cincinnati Bengals before the last couple years.
Detroit Lions.
Or the Detroit Lions.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jets. You know.
It's a good point.
Yeah. So, that being said, that's all I got. Is that all you got?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for going over the schedule. We got more to come. Pretty soon, we're going to be going every week. Probably when training camp hits, right? Every week, you think?
Yeah. It comes like August.
We get closer to the season. Same time, same place. Thanks for listening in. And thanks for tuning in. You know where to find us. iTunes, Google Play Music, all that stuff. Amazon. Ask to listen to the latest episode of Birds Deep. Subscribe, Karen, Sharon. And this is Z Godfrey and Gene not saying goodbye, just saying Birds Deep.